So hello fellow Earthlings, this is Earthling 6455463728, and I wanted to talk about Joe Rogan's guest, Lex Fridman. He's an AI scientist researcher. I think he's involved in healthcare as well, perhaps. Anyway, Mr. Fridman came on the show with a mask, a face mask, because he wanted to promote it. He said that it would help to reduce the transmission of COVID-19, coronavirus, and that's what he was doing. He eventually took it off because, of course, his voice was muffled speaking into the mic, so he just wanted to come on and have us see, who can see on YouTube, and be able to have a conversation about it and to promote, all these politicians and everybody should come out wearing it. Now, I thought a little bit about it since I saw it, and my question is this, because he was really very confident that the masks would help to prevent transmission from people. He was saying that it's not really so much that it will protect you, but it's your mask that you wear shows me that you are protecting me from you, and my mask, hopefully if I'm wearing one, will show you that I'm protecting you from me. And Joe Rogan, they went back and forth a bit, and Joe was like, well, I'm sure most of these, and he wasn't a little bit disparaging of people, and that would be me too, though, that he'd be disparaging, and I don't mind, would really be wearing the mask to protect ourselves. And I think that's where, I think that would be the idea that even him included would have. I mean, maybe that's just his reaction to what the guy was saying, because the guy wanted to really instill that, hey, you're protecting the society from you potentially having it. And anyway, getting back to that whole idea that the masks would help, if it would help, then why are in Asia, everybody loves a mask. They love them some masks. Korea, Japan, China, if you look at any of those videos of people waiting in China, you'll see, like, to get into hospital, everybody has a mask on. So why is it that they bothered to shut down Wuhan if all you had to do was wear a mask? Why is it that Korea, it has social distancing? So I'm learning Korean, and the people that I see in Korea, they are not turning up to work. There's one guy who comes to work, he teaches Korean. What's his name? Hyung. I can't remember his name. Right, it's Hyunu. And Hyung is Big Brother. Big Brother Hyunu is what other people younger than him calls him. But he has his show, and it's not business as usual. There's practically nobody at the office when he's recording normally, and people come individually when they want to record, but everybody is wearing, and he says practically everybody in Korea wears masks. So why is it that they still have this shutdown if these masks are going to work so well? And why is it that business as usual in Japan, apparently nobody is staying home yet, they're predicting that is going to lead to a whole bunch of problems? In Singapore, in Taiwan, if these masks are so effective, then why did they shut down all of those different areas and have people practicing social distancing? And why did they close down Wuhan and just now opened it back? That kind of leads to some doubt, because the thing about it is that the virus is apparently it's 0.3 microns wide, and a wide variety of fabrics are not able to filter those viral particles. So the idea is that's why people want those N95 masks, because they're supposed to filter out 95% of the air particles that are above a certain size. So if people want those specific masks because they have to fit so well over your mouth, and there have been some suggestions that beyond coughing, a laugh, a guffaw might spread the particles into the air. And then Dr. Oz was saying that the masks have to be fitted really well, and most people would not know how to fit them and to test that they're fitted well. That's for the N95 masks. So I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to call BS on that. Now, don't get me wrong, there have been some studies that have suggested that washing your hands and wearing a very good mask can reduce the chances of transmission. But masks alone have not been found in any particular study to have any benefit. Masks and washing hands. So maybe if he brought a bowl of water with him and decided to wash his hands and also have on the mask, that would have been good. And one of the other things that was a little bit surprising in terms of him wanting to encourage people was that as soon as he took off the mask, he's like, oh, yeah, that's better. So people are going to want to be taking off their masks because they can't breathe right. And that's one of the complaints of ordinary people using the N95 masks, because they can become so uncomfortable to have on for so long. Yeah, I don't think so. Anyway, Joe was asking him, at one point Joe Rogan called him, and I suppose I might put this in the title, he called him the Russian John Wick, which I thought was rather amusing because he looked like John Wick. He was dressed in that suit and tie, and that was amusing. And he ribbed Joe as well by saying that, yeah, Joe, you'll tease me about that, and then I'll tease you about your fanny packs. And I thought that was funny as well, because Joe loves him a fanny pack. That is, he wants to give them out to people. I can't remember who it was that he was offering one to, and the person was like, I think I'm good. I think I'm okay. I don't know that I want one. But Joe was really, hardcore promoting it. And in another instance, and I think I might be mixing this up a little bit with the Crenshaw, the interview with Senator Crenshaw that maybe came out yesterday. Joe was like, no, he did mention this. He said that there was a big kerfuffle because people were saying that, were commenting on the fact that he had said that he would prefer to Joe for Trump rather than Joe Biden. And he was saying that, well, it's obvious that Joe Biden has some kind of dementia and things are going, he can't keep his thoughts together, and it's clear he doesn't know why the Democratic Party would encourage him to run, and all blah, 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 blah. And then he's like, listen, let me clear the air. I don't know that he did. I would vote for anybody instead of Biden. I would vote for Whoopi Goldberg. I would vote for Hillary Clinton. I would vote for anybody instead of Joe Biden. Now that doesn't help what you said. And maybe, I didn't go too much past that point. So maybe he was going to say that, just to be clear, I am going to vote for Joe Biden, because let's be real. If there's anything that has been clear, it shows us that the mental capacity of whoever is president is probably not really going to affect the country that much. So his making a big deal about Joe Biden's his mental capacity. As far as we've seen somebody who basically cannot concentrate, is completely focused on themselves and how they look in any given situation. Somebody who will contradict themselves repeatedly in the same breath. Somebody who, they don't talk about it anymore. But I think that there are a lot of offices that are empty in terms of political appointments that need to be made to, the UN, to embassies, all sorts of things. I don't know that they are filled. Maybe they're not filled. I think there are a lot of offices that have not been filled. And somebody who will speak to an expert and then still come out with his own opinion. So if the job really, really, really was that important, the outcome would be a lot more observable. As of right now, it doesn't seem to be. So I don't know that Joe might think, you know, Joe Rogan might think that he's helping himself by clarifying that it's not just Trump that he would vote for. He would vote for anybody instead of Joe Biden. I don't know that he's really helping himself with that one. But also, they spoke about, he was asking Mr. Fridman about whether or not he thinks the UFC fight should continue or go ahead. But he seems to be, Joe Rogan seems to be really excited about the matches that are on the card. He's like, whoa, there's some really good matches. So he's asking Fridman, who is not involved in the government or even with respect to viruses and so on. And this is something I wish that Jamie had done some more research on, because it's something that I can't believe that somebody like Joe Rogan would not have read up already. There have been articles where scientists have come out and said that from what they have seen of the genome of the virus, it is exceedingly unlikely that it was created. Because if you're creating something, right, like let's say you want to create a new animal, right, that's going to kill, actually we don't even have to assume, just look at any one of these horror movies. There's a Deep Blue Sea where they mixed up the genes of a shark with human DNA, with all sorts of DNA they put into the shark. And with respect to Jurassic Park, it's the same thing. When they wanted to come out with a new dinosaur, they mixed together a whole bunch of genes to get what they wanted. And that's what they're saying they don't see in the coronavirus. So I'm really surprised that Joe Rogan hadn't Googled that or seen that somewhere as to the evidence as to whether or not this was a human-engineered virus. I'm kind of really disappointed in Joe with respect to that. Maybe he has other things that he wants to think about, but he's still like, I wonder if it could be. I'm not saying that it is. I don't know anything. So why don't you Google it? And this is a sad thing to me, because I was really looking forward to see this. He said, Jamie, look up Wuhan virus genetically engineered. And Jamie looked it up. He started to say, they're saying that scientists have not seen any indication that it's genetically engineered. And I was hoping, hey, Jamie, read the article. Read it on your own. And then come back and tell Joe, yeah, they're saying exactly what I just said. There's no evidence of a mix of different genes that you would find. The coronavirus is almost pretty much exactly like the other viruses that they've found, except for a couple of places, and there's nothing like it in those couple of places. It's not like they took some genes from the measles, and they took some genes from smallpox, or they took some genes from the plague, and they spliced it in there, and they said, look, these are some smallpox genes, these are some measles genes. It's pretty much like a coronavirus with one or two sets of genes that they don't know. They can't map it with something else. So that was really kind of sad. Maybe it comes out later on, and maybe Joe might bring it up in another podcast. I'd really hope that he does, if he can find that, because I think everybody needs to know as much as they can and try to squash as much conspiracy theories as they can. Anyway, guys, you can wish me lucks. You can like or unlike. You can comment, subscribe, and or share. Peace.